All right, welcome back to another edition of Sustainable Servings. I'm joined now by none other than Miss Brandy Duncan.
Hello.
Brandy, what do you have for us this week? I hear it's excellent.
It is an excellent adventure today. We are doing water glass eggs over here, and then we're doing pickled eggs on this side.
Okay. All right, so let's get into it. What do you want to start with?
We can start with the short one first. I kind of started the setup of this because it was a little bit time consuming to get all of the eggs faced in the right direction for the water glass eggs. So we just need to add a couple more raw eggs. I forgot.
So anyway, tell me a little bit about this recipe. Why are we doing this? You know, what does this kind of achieve for your eggs?
So this is a good option for saving raw eggs. A lot of like the pickled egg recipes are going to be, well, I think mostly it's just hard-boiled eggs. And if you are trying to save eggs for like recipe purposes, like if you wanted to make like baked goods with your eggs and stuff like that, and you wanted to save those, water glass is like the best option for that. However, you have to have like farm fresh, unwashed, unrefrigerated type like eggs for that.
So this might not be a solution for eggs that you buy at the grocery store.
Right.
This is for like farm fresh,
Exactly.
straight from the source eggs.
As you can see, they're cleaned off, but it's definitely like
It's not like, it doesn't look as like clean and...
right, exactly. It's
Right.
imperfect. So I'll move Miss Chicky out of the way. So we are going to put, this is called pickling lime. We're just going to put this in the water here.
And then again,
You
this is
know-
for saving raw, fresh eggs.
Yes.
But it doesn't like change the content of the egg. It just keeps
Right.
them so you can use them at a later time.
Exactly.
And how long will this actually save them for?
So these are supposed to last for up to 18 months. Wow. So that's a long, long time. So this is dissolving in the water here. We can start, I'm gonna grab a fork.
And this is pickling lime?
Pickling lime.
Okay. And then how much can you buy pickling lime for, and where can people find that if this is interesting them?
I believe that our producer got this at Menards. You can also get it on Amazon if you want to, if you're like an online girly. But basically what this does is it fills the pores of the egg with calcium.
Okay.
So, oh look, I'm not even spilling, that's awesome. So that helps keep it fresh for longer.
I feel like we need to edit in like a round of applause for that. That was fantastic.
I got the funnel for
No,
the next
no
one.
funnel needed. That was fantastic.
Let's see if I need to remove this one egg or not.
So this is really easy, simple. It's like a
Yeah.
two-step recipe.
Yeah, it's just, you want to make sure you use distilled water because you're making a jar that's sealed tight with water and the stuff that you're going to keep for 18 months. You want to make sure that there's no like stuff in your water on accident, like any microbes or something like that, that could make your eggs like spoil and go bad. So those are done. Ta-da.
Oh, that's it. And then you just put them wherever you need to put them?
Yep. If you have like a root cellar, which I know a lot of us have like basements, if you make a bunch of stuff and you're canning a lot, just throw like a wire rack in your basement, put all your canning stuff on there, keep it up off the ground, and usually it's like cool enough and not crazy damp so it doesn't get funky.
So I was going to say these are very low maintenance. After you make them, you can kind of just set them where you need to set them.
Exactly.
And everything should be fine.
Yeah.
Until you need to open them again.
You can actually use like a giant, like the food grade 5-gallon buckets, or 10-gallon, whichever you can lift, and fill them with the eggs if you have like a larger amount. Like if you have a chicken or chickens and you want to store their eggs, so you don't have to have like a million jars with like 8 eggs in them.
You could just do one big batch. Gotcha. All right, so now on to our pickled eggs. And these are for hard-boiled eggs. So you already boiled these eggs.
That is right.
And this is, we're doing a Kansas-style recipe. So what makes it Kansas-style?
That's a great question, Eva.
I have a feeling
Just
it's
to
because
say.
it's like spicier, right?
I want to say so.
That's what
I
was
think you're right
thinking.
about that.
That's what I have a feeling. So I went ahead and I looked up some of the history around like pickling eggs, just because, I don't know, I'm kind of a history buff, so I like to know like where things are coming from and why. So I found out that on the Mayflower, they couldn't bring any like, you know, perishable foods. So they pickled a bunch of eggs, and they were at sea for 66 days, needed a protein source, so they pickled eggs. And so pickled eggs were on the Mayflower when
Oh
they
my
came over
gosh.
to the Americas.
That's awesome.
And then I
had no
also learned that they have Amish origins.
idea. Ooh.
I know, so these are more worldly than we think. I didn't know that they were that, you know.
Ooh.
So these came over from Germany as well. So when settlers came over and settled in Pennsylvania, also known as Pennsylvania Dutch,
Ooh.
they were known for making pickled eggs.
Awesome.
And then I have one last one that's just weird, but I'll share that after. That's like a little tease. I'll share my last weird fact after we get through some of this.
I like this.
So tell me
It's
a little bit
trivia
about what we're
game.
doing.
So this is going to be like the refrigerated version like we did with our pickles. So
Right.
pretty quick and easy. It'll last for several weeks to a few months. Just as long as you keep your, what do you call it? Hard boil.
Hard boil.
If you boil your eggs and then like basically immediately can them, they should last for several months.
Okay,
but
cool.
if you like leave them out for a little bit longer, they're not like fresh from the grocery store, that kind of thing, it'll kind of decrease the life of them.
Gotcha.
But as always, I say smell it first.
Ooh.
Smell it first, and
Well,
you know,
it smells
it'll
like
be
hard-boiled
fine.
eggs, so.
I'm gonna quickly rinse this out.
So, Brandy, you hard-boiled them and then peeled them, right? That's step number one. Hard-boiled your eggs, peel your eggs, and then they're ready to go, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fantastic.
All right, so I'm gonna incorporate all of this stuff here.
So that's lime juice.
We've got lime juice. How about I scoot some of this stuff over so you can see it? So we've got lime juice. We have, one of these is salt and one is sugar. Don't ask me which one.
I can't tell either.
The lime juice is just like
Yeah. Lime juice, salt, sugar, garlic. Does it matter if it's minced or powdered?
I'm sure you could use powdered.
Okay, cool.
I think that's a great substitute, probably.
And then this is probably what makes it Kansas style, because it's hot,
Yeah,
spicy. These are
yeah.
crushed red pepper flakes.
Right.
And honestly, those I always say measure with your heart. I love spice, so I would probably be putting in more.
Only spilling a little bit this time, I swear.
Okay, you're doing great.
Thank you. She's very supportive, you guys.
So then you whisk it all up.
Yes.
Is there anything that you need to look for to know that it's done, or is it just?
No. I mean, you can wait for it to be dissolved, or you can pour it in and just make sure you shake it enough times before you see, like, so you don't have a bunch of sediment in the bottom. It says 2 to 3 cups for this recipe.
Okay.
So I did a little bit. We're gonna add a little bit more, get the rest out at the bottom
And this
here.
is vinegar, right?
This is vinegar, yeah.
Okay.
So if you notice, last time we talked about like the cost of these things.
Yes.
And I mentioned a lot of stuff you're just gonna keep using over and over again. This is the same vinegar. This is the same salt. This is the same garlic.
That's right. Okay.
Um,
So it's all the ingredients that you bought before.
right.
That's why this is sustainable servings, guys.
Exactly. And that's it. Ta-da. You could have fit way more eggs in there. We had a little conundrum earlier today.
We did have a conundrum. Our eggs weren't hard boiled enough earlier. And that wasn't going to work.
No, it was not. But we fixed it. And that's the important thing, is we made it for you guys.
But you probably shouldn't shake these, but you can shake these up, right?
So these are pretty tightly fit in there, so it should be good, but maybe just like gently turn.
Gently turn versus these, you can
Yeah.
kind of give them a.
Yeah, those you can shake around.
Yeah.
These still have the shells and they're raw on the inside, so maybe
Right.
not.
So that's the main difference, really. These are preserving raw eggs, and these are preserving hard boiled eggs.
Right.
Okay, very cool.
Perfect.
All right, so how long do we have until we get to taste them?
We're gonna come back in 2 weeks.
Okay.
We're gonna come back in 2 weeks. We are gonna try these straight out of the jar. And these, I think we're gonna make some scrambled eggs, and we're gonna have some extra guests this time.
Some extra guests.
Extra, dang, I missed it. Oh, so close.
Oh, wait, it's time for my last fact that I thought
Ooh,
was
that's
really
right.
crazy. So when I looked up more about pickling eggs, apparently in the 1940s, like housewives were encouraged to put them on skewers and have them as lollipops.
Oh my gosh.
It was, you know, that really strange time of like,
I'm bringing my skewers in 2 weeks, you guys.
oh, we're
Just
gonna make
wait.
lollipops
I think
with
I have some
hard-boiled eggs.
tropical ones.
Woo! All right. Well, I guess we're gonna
Count me
housewife
in.
it. All right, Brandy. Well, thank you so much. As always, it's a pleasure. Can't wait to come back and try these in 2 weeks. And welcome back to a continuation of our second episode of Sustainable Servings. I'm back again with Miss Brandy Duncan, and today we're trying out the recipes that we brought you 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
So we made Kansas-style pickled eggs.
Yes.
And we also made water glass eggs.
Yes.
And the whole goal of this was to make recipes to keep your eggs shelf stable. So now we're trying them out today. Brandy, what are you making?
So I am set up making some scrambled eggs. The purpose for this is over here I have 2 bowls, one with regular like store-bought eggs and one with the water glass eggs. So it kind of shows like the difference on what stuff looks like.
And the store-bought eggs and the glass eggs look essentially the same. There's really no difference between them.
Right now they look the same. However, behind the scenes, I also water glass some of my own eggs that I bought like at the same time on the same day. So hopefully, I thought maybe a year from now we could come back and see how they look then.
That's a deep tease. That's a very deep tease. That's a
Forethought.
12-month tease.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we'll have to check back in on that a while from now.
Yes.
But obviously there's no difference between the regular eggs and the glass eggs.
Yeah.
And what did we make those with again?
So we made the water glass eggs with pickling lime and distilled water. The distilled water is so that we don't get anything crazy in our water. We're not trying to get
bacteria.
botulism,
No botulism.
through our eggs. And one thing I noticed when I was setting this up was that the water glass eggs were easier to crack open
Oh,
and softer.
okay.
So the pickling lime puts calcium in the pores of those eggs, which keeps them fresh and usable and makes them not spoil so fast. So I wonder if that has something to do with it.
It could have.
Maybe.
Could have. But overall hasn't changed the look, hasn't changed the texture, and we're gonna see if they cook exactly the same as store-bought eggs.
Right. So we're just making regular scrambled eggs right now. A tablespoon of butter, a sprinkle, a pinch you could say, of salt and pepper. And I'm just getting these started here. So at the end of this, we'll try them and see how they compare.
And then over on this side, this is where we have the pickled eggs, our Kansas-style pickled eggs. And what we're doing with these is we're making a salad. So here I have, obviously we have our lettuce all cut up, and then we have the eggs, which Brandy has cut up for us. Okay, and then we have cucumbers and radish. Was it just 1 cucumber and how many radishes?
Half a cucumber and 3 radishes.
But obviously you can do however much as you'd like. All right. Oh. And then we also have a half of an avocado. Oh boy. This is good.
Would you like a spoon?
I think a spoon would help.
Maybe that would work.
I'm totally messing
It's not an
up the-
episode of Sustainable Servings unless I go off camera to get a utensil.
Oh no, I totally messed up the pretty aesthetic of the chopped up avocado. It's all right. We're doing our best. We probably should have had this like pre-scooped out.
My bad.
It's okay. It's okay. It's no big deal. Flying by the seat of our pants.
right.
Okay. Once you scrape your avocado in there, very unaesthetically pleasing, then you're going to take some mint. And finally, our dressing. And Brandy, what's in our dressing?
We have the, what do you call it? Brine. Brine is the right word. The brine from the pickled eggs and half an avocado, so just the other half of your already open avocado, and some avocado oil. You could use whatever oil you want to, but I figured it was fitting
There's our salad.
since we're already using avocado in it. And that's it. You just mash up your half avocado, and you're good to go.
And you said you added the brine from the pickles, or
Yes.
the pickled eggs. Sorry.
Yes, that's right.
Yes.
You could use probably any brine you'd like, but I thought,
All right.
let's see how it works with that one.
All right. Okay. So now we've got our salad all mixed up and the eggs are going. And then we're going to try them once we come back after the break.
That's right.
All right, welcome back to Sustainable Servings. And you may notice we have 2 more guests joining us. I'm sure you know Mr. Devin Brooks. But we want to give JC her debut here.
Hi.
JC is our 11 a.m. producer.
Yes.
And now she's finally on camera with us after being
Yeah.
in the booth all of these times. We wanted to invite her to the set of Sustainable Servings.
I'm really excited to be here.
You're
Really
right.
excited to have some eggs.
Add an extra spice to this. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, a little
Absolutely.
sprinkle of seasoning.
Yeah. I smell something really good going on here.
Oh yeah.
That's
Wow.
why I had to join you all.
You're going to have to put
wonder.
2 hands up because we have a salad
Okay.
and a bowl of eggs to give you.
Oh, I'm gonna tell my
Ooh.
mommy I get to eat healthy today.
Some
Finally.
vegetables in my diet.
So remember-
it's a first.
This is the one with the pickled eggs, with the
Okay.
hard-boiled eggs that were pickled.
Yes.
And then Brandy's serving up the scrambled eggs that we made with our water glass eggs.
Right.
Trying to get a little bit of everything in the bite
If
here.
I can get this
So-
with
so
this
everyone
guy.
can
Ava's an expert at this.
Yeah. All right.
I'm not an expert, I just work here.
All right. Let's see.
Oh.
But anyway, also, the Illinois Extension is offering dial gauge pressure canning testing for home equipment.
That's
so
right.
now that it's summertime, everyone's taking all of their equipment out of their garages, and it's a very important part of pressure canning to ensure that your equipment is tested yearly. So this year, the Illinois Extension is offering that, and there's actually a Rock Island location
Yes.
here in the Quad Cities that's
Yes, there
offering
is.
that free service.
And I may see you there. As she said, you have to check it every year. You should check it every year. You don't want to get any kind of botulism or ridiculousness going on in your cans. Be
Yes.
careful.
So
Be
that's-
careful. So, yeah.
Taking the proper safety precautions when you're making your food is almost as important as how good the food tastes.
That's
so,
Yeah, I don't know why I'm not tasting it.
I was
right
gonna
now.
say,
Am I
with that
supposed
being
to-
said,
I have permission.
I've had several bites already.
What am I waiting for?
how was it?
Okay. This is so good.
Okay.
This would be like on like a hot summer day. You're spending your day outside. You're in the garden. You're ready to have just like a light lunch. This is delicious.
It's like refreshing. Is that the vibe
It's
that
so
we're getting?
refreshing. Like it's just I just got a bite. That was literally everything that's inside of this right now, and it was so good. Cause like there's like you get some of the like tanginess from the vinegar and the eggs, but then like the fresh cucumber comes in, and
Okay.
you're like, this
All
is
right.
refreshing, and I really like it. So no, this is delicious.
All right.
Devin, what's your
Devin?
take?
No, this is excellent.
Is it excellent, would you say?
Yeah, excellent.
Oh,
yeah,
excellent.
yeah.
Yeah.
Good choice.
I was very excited.
Excited.
And, you know, have a shell of a time, you know, things like
Ooh,
that.
okay.
But okay. Well, I'm still yoking.
All
around
right.
here.
All right, I'll
Get
try.
to snacking.
Okay, do I get to know the difference? Is this the
I'll tell
shelled?
you.
Okay, you'll
This
tell
is the
me?
water glass eggs
This
right
is.
now.
So these are the eggs that we
Yes.
preserved with
Right.
the.
I'll even
Okay.
hold it
Okay.
so we can see how the water glass eggs look today.
Okay.
Pretty much the same.
Yeah.
You got to be a little more careful when you take them out of there when there's fewer.
Yes.
Don't shake them around.
Yes. Yes.
And these are the
Yeah.
kind of eggs that Brandy said you could actually keep them on your shelf for like up to a year, right?
18 months.
18, so over a year actually.
And
Dang, these are good.
They taste like regular eggs.
Ooh.
Like
Regular eggs.
this is
Ready to
something
swap?
that
Can
Oh, wait
I
here, sir.
can I come over here every week and do this?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
every 2 weeks. We don't do
So
this
I'm
every
putting
week.
some of these in here, right? Is that what's going
Oh,
on?
whichever you want to do.
Oh, okay.
Oh
Mixing
yeah, you
them
can
together?
mix it up.
Do whatever you
It's
want.
all egg.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
it doesn't
all
matter.
right.
It's all egg.
We love the creativity.
Just make
Yeah.
it.
Devin,
Hey, I'm
Devin's
trying-
over here cooking his own
I'm trying to
recipe.
go all in. I'm not wasting any time now.
That's
right.
perfect.
He said it's lunchtime and we're hungry.
So now the big question, I mean, between the regular egg and the water glass eggs, it looked exactly the same.
Exactly the
Yeah.
same.
It cooked the same, it looked the same, it smelled the same standing here. It looks exactly the
Yeah,
same.
I want to try them.
I will say though that
But there's a little bit of a color difference.
there is a little bit of a
Yeah.
color difference.
If anyone can see that,
store-bought
there.
eggs, the store-bought fresh eggs are a little bit duller in color
Yeah.
than the water glass eggs.
And the water glass eggs are farm fresh, so there's also that difference as well, correct? Of
These
like
eggs are
true.
yummy.
they are
They
they're
really
so
are.
good.
You wouldn't even know that they've been in a can for
Oh my
2
God.
weeks.
They're like
right?
especially creamy, but I guess we'll see how it compares to this one.
And like just farm fresh versus store bought, the water glass eggs are richer in like their flavor than the store bought eggs.
And it's
So,
also important to mention that all of this is extremely affordable.
yes.
All of this was very, very few ingredients, very affordable. That's why it's sustainable serving.
Yes.
In
I-
fact, the farm-bought eggs were cheaper than store-bought.
That is
if
true.
you
as
live in a
saying-
rural area.
As the person that goes and does the grocery shopping for this segment.
Right.
Perfect.
You definitely won't find this in Devin's kitchen. So I will only, yeah, I know.
Devin's
I'm
not a
surprised they
chef.
even invited me. I didn't know that.
Here, this one,
Okay.
the lighter
Oh,
colored
even
one.
more. Okay, perfect.
We just keep
the
handing food to
store-bought.
Devin.
This is
I'm gonna
great.
go
I
back
need
to
to
the
eat
salad.
healthier.
Yeah, have
So
you tried the
okay.
salad yet?
This
I'm
is
about
perfect.
to. I'm going to get to it for sure.
Definitely
I wanted
try
to make
it.
sure that we got everything
that's
covered, that we got everything wrapped up.
Everything. The salad was probably my favorite.
Okay.
Like the pickled eggs. I never had pickled eggs before, and they were really good. I loved
See, I
the salad.
tricked them into to eating that first because I'm not a pickled egg fan. I just wanted to support your guys' canning journeys at home.
There you go.
So they got to snack on it while I made these eggs.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, there you have it. We had pickled eggs and we had canned glass eggs, and it turned out to be a huge success.
It was very good.
We're 2 for 2 at this point. We're
Ooh.
still going strong.
Happy Friday.
There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us.